Welcome back to the Barry Charles Footy Show, and we have all the news from the Dally M's last night. Absolute some shockers. What a finish to the awards night. An absolute bamboozle. And we got big news. Yes, Jason Taylor is back in the NRL as he goes to be assistant to Cameron Ciraldo at the Bulldogs. As well as, is Jarome Luai the villain, or is he just misunderstood? And a few players are off to the Super League. All that and much more here at Barry Charles Footy Show, right here, right now. Let's get onto it. Yes, Kalyn Ponga has come from nowhere, as I predicted yesterday, and has come out the back door and got Shaun Johnson at the post. So Shaun Johnson was the favourite and long-time pick for myself. But unfortunately, his last few games, he wasn't quite getting the points he needed. He only needed to get 1 more point, 2 more points, but he just didn't quite get the job done in the last month of footy, which allowed the chance for Kalyn Ponga to get those just boom, 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 last 9 rounds to sneak up and beat him by 1 point. There's Shaun Johnson. I think that was his golden opportunity. I don't know if he's going to have that sort of season again next year. That would be debatable, but that's unlucky for him. But Kalyn Ponga, well done. Deciding to say I'm not going to play another Origin game this season was the key catalyst for this. Because if he had missed out on that one game anywhere in that season, Shaun Johnson more than likely would have got it. So he did the right move for him, and right move to be the Dally M Player of the Year. So what does this mean? Does he make the Australian team? Can Kalyn Ponga get into the 20? Can Reece Walsh get into the 20? James Tedesco get in the 20? People were saying off with Tedesco and these two should be in. I sort of agree, but I think they're going to stick with Tedesco. But this is going to be an interesting point coming out of that. Obviously, Jason Taylor. Yes, Jason Taylor is going to the Bulldogs. Yes, this is an interesting one here. Is he going to end up taking over Ciraldo? I'm not convinced. I mean, Jason Taylor was one of my favourite players back in the day when he was playing for North Sydney Bears. And then Parramatta, when he lost that grand final, they should never have lost to get to the Knights, but they did. But Jason Taylor, I think he's a very good assistant coach. Head coach, he seems to have not been able to do the job, but assistant coach, he was at the Roosters when they won their premiership. So he is definitely a handy player to have around the coaching ranks and should help Bulldogs improve next season, especially if they can sign Jarome Luai for 2025. But yes, getting back to the awards night, obviously one of the biggest elephants in the room. How was Dominic Young's try not the try of the year? It was absolutely spectacular. To give it to Figo, I just couldn't believe that there was the selection there. But if we go through some of the winners, Andrew Webster, Coach of the Year, that was a no-brainer for me, even though you could argue for Kiwi Walters and Ivan Cleary as well. That was a no-brainer. The Knights done the double whammy with Tamika Upton getting the women's Dally M as well, so that's the first time that has happened, that the two, and being both the fullbacks, so that's outstanding. Latrell Mitchell, even after this bad year, still gets the Ken Stephen Medal for Community Award. Nicho Hynes clearly was going to get the Proven Summons Award once he gave his medal and shoot to Paul Green's family. So they were kids, so that was a pretty, for the Paul Green medal, so that was pretty obvious that was going to be. Anna Reynolds, Captain of the Year. Yes, I can understand that, but I thought maybe Tohu Harris deserved it, but I mean, it's still definitely a rewarding piece for him. Now, this is it. The Dally M Players of the Year award. So for the Team of the Year, the Team of the Year, to be honest, I can't argue with any of them. Absolutely. I might have picked a few others, but to be honest, this is probably as good as it gets. Kalyn Ponga at fullback, in terms of, at the end of the day, when it comes to the points in the system, he was the best. DWZ and Jermaine Asako, the best two wingers pretty much. Even though I did say DWZ's defensive wasn't that great, but I'm not surprised he got it. Because it's all about getting points. Stephen Crichton and Herbie Farnworth, no surprises there. Ezra Mam, no surprise there. Even though I thought Cody Walker might have had a chance, but obviously didn't get enough points earlier in the season. Shaun Johnson, that was a no-brainer. That was clearly the no-brainer of the thing. Payne Huss and Annan Whanua Black, the two best props, no doubt about it. Tino wasn't far away, don't get me wrong. Harry Grant, Liam Martin, David Fafita, no surprises there, and Patrick Carrigan. I thought it might be tied between him and Toru Harris, but I mean, I can't argue with the team. All these players are very good throughout the year. Even though you could say Reece Walsh maybe should be there, but he didn't get enough points and got and the suspension, so he can't win Dally M. But yeah, so very good team, no surprises there. And obviously Sunia Turuva getting Rookie of the Year. He was probably most consistent, but I like Buller's excitement that he brought to being the West Tigers, but unfortunately not to be for him. But I mean, Turuva's a good enough winner anyway. But now, some changes around some of the clubs at the moment. Footy signs on for another 4 years. Good on you, mate. Good on the still waiting for the bed hunt signature. Wow, I mean, that's the rumours going around. Whether it happens, I don't know. Maybe Cherry Evans decides to go there for a swan song. You never know. But yes, Paul Momorowski is off to Leeds, according to reports. Well, really, to be fair, the Roosters have a few players like Corey Allen. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up there as well in the Super League. I mean, these guys are good enough to play NRL. Just not getting the gigs at these clubs. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's whoever the coach likes at the end of the day. And these two have been left out to dry. So Paul Momorowski's out the door. We'll see if Corey Allen joins them shortly. Tarek Sims off to Catalans. Yes, Tarek Sims wanted to stay in Melbourne, but at the end of the day, money talks. And he would have got way more money to go to Catalans than stay in the NRL when he would have been on penance compared to what he used to be on. That was a clear statement on what's happening there. So that's just a little bit looking at what's happening around the traps. But let's be fair. From Kalyn Ponga, what happened at the start of the year to his finish of the year is absolutely one of the stories of the year. Obviously, Shaun Johnson and the Warriors, another story. Those two big stories of the year. But what's going to be the final story? Yes. What will be the final story in this thing? Everything leads to Panthers winning. Can the Broncos pull off the upset of the century? Well, it's not the upset of the century, but can they pull off the upset? They have Plain Haas, Tom Flegler, Patrick Carrigan. Those three players have to be better than Fisher Harris, Moses Leota, and Isaiah Yeo. They have to be better. If they're not better than them, the Panthers will probably win this game easily. But if they can dominate, these young bucks, if they can dominate and let Adam Reynolds get the room he needs to let Reece Walsh and the Broncos attack alight, then there could be a boil over come Sunday. I personally don't see it happening. I think they'll falter under the pressure. And Nathan Cleary, I've got a prediction for you, but I'll leave that for another video. But I just think Panthers are too class, and I think a three-peat is coming. But anyway, I will talk about that in the next video. But thank you so much for joining me in Barry Charles Footy Show. I hope you got a bit of just insight on how the Dally M's went last night. You may disagree with some of them. You can leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to reply. And thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel and have a great day out there.